Hello Ghana for you bia kwa ba edoba eye inside GH. Yes, abusia Prophet Kofi Oduro so aba bonti aba kasa e de afa eye Mzbel ne ba eye comfort black ne commenter aba bonti ana aba social media so ebe make e de fa eye God ho na abusia wa to be papa chese see we see to be e de ma sa generation ya be enyasem ketwa ye be call ni akuti but me sure the kind emi subscribe button ne mi abo na e won chen like video no so na bibia enye kama pa. Yes, abusia Prophet Kofi Oduro ochirima chese this generation ye very wicked. The trimo sum papa chese nyankopon adwen na chese wose ye dwen no enya hokra ne nam abusia watutu bi dia manage this generation o wie no Mzbel na ho eba na ho sema chese wokan ye no na enya asem ketwa commenter eya abofra friend no comfort black komeki ye no waka ho asem a wochima antichrist ana chese abofra no chese oye abusia enya asem ketwa asem a Prophet Kofi Oduro akeka no ano dem pa ye bedi kan akwa mra na Prophet Kofi Oduro na o chiremu di ntia this generation nankasa no ya ba no ye very wicked a chese ye de nyankopon adwene wosenke ye dwene na yetim ye very good Christians no chese nya hokra ne yehwe ana chese wiase mu nyoma a chese afefede ana chese age atare ye boso ana chese ye de enam wiase na se de wesi atutu bi e de ma this generation abusuan anodin.
Honor your father and your mother that your days will be prolonged on the earth. You know, we met every elderly person was every elderly person, you know, was a father to us and a mother to us. Now we can have small boys pick up phone and talk to their reduce insult and say all kinds of swelling words and hurtful words to the chief, because it's a different order. A young man can sit, on radio, television, online, and insult men, women of God, castigate them, reduce them to nothing. Because it's an order, it's a different order. This is why I keep telling, our elders, I said, be very careful with the kind of decisions and choices that you guys are making, because very interestingly, if you are not careful, this generation don't respect anybody. And there is a generation coming, the Bible said, does not honor father, does not respect mother. Yeah, their teeth are sharp swords. There is a generation that does not honor. I mean, that generation is a generation that you ought to be very mindful and concerned about. And this is the generation in which I live in. The Lord calls them, they are the generation of tongues and berries. That is the kind of generation. In Ecclesiastes chapter 30 and verse from 19, he was talking about that particular generation. He spoke concerning them categorically. Generation that does not bless mother. There's a generation, the next verse, that says there's a generation that is pure in their own eyes and yet are not washed from their filthiness. There is a generation also who are lofty in their own eyes and their eyelids are lifted up. There is a generation whose swords, whose teeth are swords, and their jaw teeth are knives. This is a wicked generation. I have told Jubilee House, be very careful the decisions, because when you go out of office after your tenure, this generation, even if you die, they will exhume your body and burn it. This generation have no honor. This generation can look in the eyes of an elderly person and call him a fool. This generation is an antichrist generation. It's an antichrist generation. This is a wicked generation. Let your mind be here. It's a very wicked generation. Preachers have been able to tell us very interesting things contrary to God's word. And they have told us, when you have this car, it means you are blessed. You drive, you live in this house, you live at East Legon, Cantonments, or Labone, you fly first class or business class. It means that you have financial dominion, you are wealthy. The Lord has blessed you. I want to ask you, the cocaine dealers who live in East Legon and West Legon and all the places, I want to ask you, who has blessed them? Who has blessed them? The people in Ghana who have bought our system. Who has blessed them? So I'm standing here presenting the pure gospel. Christ in you, the hope of glory, not nonsense. Christ in you. Christ in you. Not Christ in your mind. Christ living in the inside of you. That is being born again. Christ in you. The hope of glory. When Christ lives in a person, godliness and contentment comes to live in that person. Christ in you makes you heavenly minded.
Well, so yes, in some way, Anna just a prophet Kofi Oduro person what she say generation we ankasa na very 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 wicked. Just say you trim ankasa mu osum Anna just weird on a Mzbel ba a comfort black so what to be a dia man no say a sit down na a bofra or uswat say a Mzbel ba o timbet na social media so e kokasa ansem we o kirema Mzbel ba na a antichrist.
Let me talk very quickly to you about very quickly concerning the next wonder of the Antichrist, the next wonder of the Antichrist. And I'm going to talk to you about the deadness of conscience. Deadness of conscience. Now, this generation has no conscience at all. The deadness of conscience is the next wonder of the Antichrist. 1 Timothy chapter 4 verse number 1. 1 Timothy 4, the Bible said, now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the last times or in the end time some would depart from the faith, giving attention to seducing spirits and the doctrines of devils, speaking lies in hypocrisy, and having their conscience snared with a hot iron. In the GNT version, in this verse 2, the Bible said interestingly, such teachings are spread by deceitful lies, and the Bible said whose conscience are dead. Dead conscience. Now I'm living in a place where the conscience of the people are dead. It is a wonder of the Antichrist. You are going to have, people put a camera in the face of a little boy, and the little boy will speak blasphemous things against the name of the Lord, and people will praise the boy. Madness are in the heart of a man. Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse number 3. Madness is in the heart of a man. The generation has no conscience. Our conscience is dead. This is why we have no love for each other. You see, the prophet of God, Apostle George Williams, the Lord bless him, in our own night, God sent, the guy is speaking strangely, and he is speaking mysteries, serious mysteries. We do all this without the love of God in our heart. That is an Antichrist. That's an Antichrist. There are people standing here speaking in tongues, but you can't feed your mother. Shut up. Shut up. Stop your nonsense and go and feed your mother.
Well, I was so yes, prophet Kofi Oduro and I just also our canadrian, Abekanya Copadri, Eddie Ghana Funino, or see a fanya futu and my hona, Chessy and Fanboy bra, just a generation we Ankasane dear. Be a Kanya Yoma corner, at Utumuse, Ochima, and Semfata, and Yamayan in the hall, not Yamboya Brabun a ye. Antichrist, and I just would Shima, a Mzbel ban a ye, I just amawa betana social media so. Eke kandi opebia na chese odi nyakopon ho fel abusuano ne akwakotia ban mesro so be me subscribe button no na wa mi abona e won chen like video no so na bibia enya kama pa ha inside GH any dim say na first time chese wo ba na any dim wo mi subscribe button no mi abona e won chen like video no so na bibia enya kama pa ha ana mu de besi nyakopon hwa na onyo kese se me ojembre na okam ho bakraw